if they're going to get aggressive, they would have to be by the trade deadline. They would have to be 6, 7, 8 games above 500 at that point.
Well, maybe it depends. It depends. To me, it's not about how many games above 500 you are. It's how many games back you are. But if you're 3-4 games back, and maybe even 5 games back, is it justifiable then?
See, but that does matter to me because I'm looking for sustainability. I'm looking for, if I'm going to get guys, hopefully this is a team that's good and needs this, and this is going to push them over the edge, as opposed to just making a move to get a guy to hopefully getting into the postseason and then where you're at.
I'm not talking about trading for a rental.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking if you're gonna do this, you've got to do it while trying to match up the timeline with the players that you have. That if you're gonna go get a bat, that bat is around. And also the one thing I'm starting to think, in spite of what's being said, I'm starting to wonder if the clock truly is ticking on Javier Baez.
Oh, I think it has to be.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
And not with the fans. I mean, with the actual
the
organization, considering, all right, we might need to cut bait here.
I don't think they would do it before the season. As for me personally, I would try to sit him on the bench or send him down, ask him if he wants to go down and work on his hitting there. But at this point, they don't have a replacement. They literally don't have a shortstop in the organization that's going to step up and be any better right now. They just don't. And that's the sad reality of it. They're starting the season, they thought they had a couple of guys, but Kreidler got hurt, had to have surgery. And then they had Eddie's Leonard, and he got hurt. Now, are these guys getting closer to coming back? They are, but then they're going to have to prove that they can hit again before you bring it back up. And it's disappointing. I feel like if there's going to be a Baez decision, it may come at the end of the year to buy him out at that point, because you'll have knocked off another $20 million or whatever, and then it becomes whatever it is, a $75 or $50 million hit. I forget where we're at on that contract. It's just and the other thing with Scott Harris is he doesn't want to block people, right? He doesn't want to block the young players. So, okay, I can get behind it. I can be a little patient with that with Colt Keith at second base. But people wanted a third baseman. And the one that people wanted was a guy who hasn't performed this year, and that's whatever. Okay, you want Chapman, and he's not hitting. They're doing fine at third base, I guess, right now. It's a stopgap. So if I'm going to go out and get a player, I'm going to eliminate third base, because I think they're saving that for Chase Young. And as Chase Young continues to hit, maybe sooner or later he's going to be brought up. But there are positions that I feel like are almost going to be eliminated if you're going to look to add a player at the deadline, based on not wanting to block other players, because that's their philosophy.
Yeah, I look the where this organization is. Under Scott Harris, we have yet to see anything bold.
Correct.
And I'm wondering if we're getting close to the time for him putting his stamp on this organization and doing something bold, because there is an offensive. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating, and you feel like you're wasting an opportunity with a pitching staff that could be playoff caliber from top to bottom, starters to bullpen. And if you got a playoff caliber pitching staff, you have to. I feel like you have to support that. I feel like it's a complete and total waste to pee that away, because it's an asset that everybody tries to hoard. They try to hoard starters. They try to hoard bullpen arms. I mean, we've got a guy trending to be an all-star who doesn't have a win yet this year, who's putting the rest of his numbers say all-star in Reese Olson. We got another guy that might be Cy Young caliber in Skubal, and others pitching well. And this feels like an opportunity for Scott Harris to put a bold stamp on the organization of how it's going to be. And we'll just throw some things out there. How aggressive could he be if the team justifies it? They have to justify it. They have to play better. They have to stay within striking distance, because a trade deadline's a time where you can give gas to your engine. You don't have to. You can also invest in future assets, but can they stick around close enough to give gas to the engine and have Scott Harris make his first bold move?